I met a gypsy.
And so what was the process of working with James like? Was that a pretty dope experience to get a chance to work with probably the gnarliest guy to ever do it?
100%. I mean, growing up, I made it very clear I was a Chad Reed fan. I thought he had the best style. I thought he rode the best. Was he the fastest? No, but I always respected him. And then meeting James, we actually grew pretty close. Like, I didn't really see him as James Stewart anymore. I saw him as more of a friend, and he trained me, and it was cool. And then obviously him teaching me as a rider, it was hard for him, I feel like, because he was so naturally talented, and he did stuff like I'm talking about. Like, when I say I do it without, it's second nature. Like, that's what he did, and it's hard for somebody to explain the stuff that he used to do on a motorcycle to somebody that is doing it there and now, and everything's a lot different. So there was just a lot of stuff that I felt like he didn't really know how to explain, because he was just so gifted as riding a dirt bike, probably the most talented and fastest guy on a dirt bike. But I just didn't feel like we were getting the message relayed right, and that's where I was kind of getting confused and whatnot. So I really was grateful working for him. I think it helped me a lot. I think being at his facility was really cool too, and getting just some of the experience and knowledge that he went through was obviously nice. And I had a fun time working with him.
So was he like trying to coach you in a sense, like with like ways to get faster, or?
Yeah, I mean, he was more that and just a lot of like mindset stuff and whatnot. And I feel like I kind of like to do stuff not my own way, but I do like to tailor it to myself. And like when I wouldn't say I'm not hard to teach, but I'm also been listening to the same person for my whole life. And he was kind of going at it a different way, wanted me to like sit down a little bit more, and I just wasn't meshing with it. I feel like I was losing that connect. I didn't feel connected to my motorcycle, which was not good when you're racing at a high level. So I was second guessing stuff, and that's where I felt like I was just going downhill. And he wasn't doing it obviously on purpose. It was just I was trying to do something, and I didn't feel obviously super comfortable with it. I was trying because it is James Stewart telling you to do something. Like, you're not going to go out there and I'm just going to do what I want. I was trying to learn, and he brought stuff to the table that definitely helped me, and I will always be grateful for that opportunity to work with him.
Yeah. I mean, I could see how working with a guy that, like, I guess, yeah, it's so visceral, like the way that he rode a bike and the way that he raced, and it was just so in the moment, man. Like, and he could just do this crazy shit. Like, I could just see how that probably doesn't translate to like how do you explain that? You
can't explain it. I mean, some of the stuff that he did, you can't explain. So for me, and everything's just changed so much with racing and whatnot. Like, all of us can go fast. All of us can ride dirt bikes very well. And stuff that he did, like quads and stuff like that, the 450s have so much power that, I mean, we're doing jumps that a lot of guys wouldn't do back in the day. So yeah, I mean, he was just so talented that it was hard for him to, I feel like, put it into words, which is not his fault. And I did learn stuff from him, and like I said, I think it was a positive thing. And obviously now we aren't working together, and I do like how it is right now. But yeah, it was obviously a dream come true to work with James Stewart, because he was probably the fastest guy on a dirt bike.
And so what's the program now? Like, because so it sort of sounds like it's kind of jumped around a little bit, like over the last 12 months. Like, and it you know, you're obviously like, you're searching for something to get like that consistent sort of base. Like, so is that something that's been dialed in this year? It's like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're sticking to this program. We're going to train here. We're going to like just keep it super simple and like keep it that routine. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I'm basically with the crew that, well, minus I have Peter Park, which was Chad Reed's trainer at one point, Ken's. So I have him off the bike, but on the bike, it's pretty much just me and my dad. And I think that's how it was on the 250. And It seemed obviously we're in a different class and it's harder, but I think it worked out well for me there. And it just cuts. I think the biggest thing is not cutting out people, but a small circle. And so I'm not hearing stuff from everybody on how to do something. I'm hearing it from somebody that I've trusted my whole life. I have a new mechanic. I have Peter and suspension guy, and then my team. So it's just keeping the group small and keeping the outside influences to a minimum and trying to hone in on what I need to work on and not be all over the place with what needs to be fixed. I think I need to focus on one thing. And this year I feel like I've been the most focused and locked in I've been since I've been professional. So that's positive. And obviously I have a lot of fire underneath me because of last year and whatnot. So I think that's a positive as well. And just having a small circle and having people around me that I do trust and that I've been around my whole life.
So do you think James will be a better podcaster than a trainer?
I don't know. I mean, I heard he's having a new podcast. So I mean, he'll be good at it. I mean, he has stories on stories on stories. So he can go off of stories for pretty much probably as long as his podcast is going to be around. So it's always going to be good, and people are going to want to listen to it. So we'll see. I don't know when the first one comes out, but I did see something that he is starting a podcast.
I'm pretty stoked to listen to it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
He's a funny dude. Like, and it away from the track. Like, did you get to golf with him much?
Yeah. We play golf quite a bit. He's funny.
Yeah, like he's like a fun dude, you know. Like, if it's not, like I wonder the direction they're gonna go. Like I heard he's gonna be getting in, like he's gonna be like flying guests in, and it's gonna be like full sit down kind of deal. So yeah, it's like I feel like if he doesn't have to just do all racing stories for it to be good. Like I think he can just be himself and just like talk shit like he's at a golf course, and like he's a funny dude and like a cool guy.
Yeah, I think with his platform too, like he's gonna be able to get. I mean, if he gets Chad in there, the guys that he raced, I don't know if Ricky will go in there or not, but he's gonna have people. He's gonna have a platform to get people in there that are gonna have stories, and it's gonna be obviously. I think it's gonna have a lot of older generation people in there, and he'll probably have some riders from now, but yeah, I mean, he can just. I'm just saying he could go off of just old stories, but he's gonna obviously he has a good personality. Yeah. He's gonna be able to figure out how to run a podcast. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, it's like Bubba's World when he had it back in the day. It was an entertaining show to watch. So I'm sure he'll figure it out. And I think it's something to do in your free time as well.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.